What if I told you one Instagram live, one song snippet, and a few tweets could send a top rapper straight back to jail? Young Thug's every move is being watched, and the consequences might be bigger than you think. Stay tuned to see how this feud could change everything in Atlanta's rap game. Only Channel 2 was on the scene in Buckhead Monday night when police arrested rapper Young Thug, whose real name is Jeffrey Williams. We shared exclusive video coverage on WSB showing the drama unfold. In one clip, a police officer reacts to Young Thug speeding dangerously down Metro, asking for a warning instead of immediate consequences. Young Thug explained his license had just been restored, promising to be careful. The officer seemed almost exasperated, saying he had seen too many bodies and stressing caution. The bigger issue revolves around Young Thug reportedly violating the strict terms of his probation from the YSL RICO trial. His actions on social media, going live on Instagram, tweeting, and even releasing a snippet of a song dissing fellow rapper Gunna, prompted Georgia authorities to file a motion to revoke his probation. The drama began the moment Gunna announced his new album, The Last One. Almost immediately, Young Thug went live on Instagram, venting his frustrations and grievances. His live sessions were filled with raw emotion as he talked about fake people, fake houses, and jealousy from others in the industry. Fans watched closely, knowing that every word could carry consequences, yet Thug seemed unbothered by potential legal ramifications. In the videos, Young Thug did not hold back. He directly addressed Gunna, questioning his career moves and even mocking him over financial missteps, including a house Gunna reportedly could not finish paying off. Thug's remarks were sharp and personal, demonstrating a level of animosity that went beyond mere artistic rivalry. It was not just casual banter. The videos painted a picture of deep-seated tension between two artists whose histories had been intertwined for years. Fans quickly noticed that Young Thug seemed to relish the confrontation, using social media as a platform to air his grievances publicly, rather than resolving the matter privately or behind the scenes. Gunna, for his part, did not take the public criticism lightly. Following the release of The Last One, Young Thug posted a dismissive tweet, "Nobody wanna hear that stuff." This message was interpreted as a slight against Gunna and his new album, which carried additional weight because it marked the final project Gunna needed to fulfill his YSL contract. Gunna responded through social media, posting an Instagram story that he later deleted, essentially telling Thug to stop and be quiet. In his post, he highlighted the significance of the album, noting that it was his last one under YSL and that he intended to finish his contractual obligations without interference or public disputes. What made this conflict even more complicated was the broader legal backdrop. Young Thug was still under strict probation following his YSL RICO case, which included explicit restrictions on associating with certain individuals, engaging in illegal activities, or using public platforms in ways that could be interpreted as inciting violence or highlighting criminal associations. By going public with personal attacks and pointed criticisms, Thug had placed himself in a precarious legal position. Each Instagram live, tweet, or song snippet could be construed as a violation, giving Georgia authorities legitimate grounds to seek probation revocation. The live sessions Thug conducted were particularly revealing. During one broadcast, he spoke about the duplicity of people around him, calling out so-called friends who pretended to support him while harboring hidden agendas. He discussed the pitfalls of the music industry and the pressures that come with fame, expressing frustration at how public perception can be manipulated. Yet, he also used this platform to throw direct jabs at Gunna, pointing out career choices, financial decisions, and even personal matters like property investments. These moments were not just casual complaints, they were pointed statements that revealed a deeper rift between the two artists. Fans reacted quickly to the public feud, dividing into camps supporting either Young Thug or Gunna. Social media became a battleground, with posts, tweets, and stories spreading the news at lightning speed. The rapid dissemination of these interactions magnified the legal and social consequences for Thug. Analysts and observers pointed out that while social media gives artists a voice, it also leaves a permanent digital footprint. In Thug's case, Each video and tweet became potential evidence for Georgia authorities investigating his probation compliance. Gunna, meanwhile, maintained a more restrained public approach. By deleting his Instagram story after responding to Thug, he signaled an attempt to manage the situation carefully, likely aware of the potential legal ramifications that could arise from continued public exchanges. His response emphasized that while he would defend his work and reputation, he would not escalate the feud in ways that could harm him legally or professionally. This contrasted sharply with Thug's more impulsive, confrontational style, highlighting the differing strategies each artist employed in navigating both public perception and legal constraints. The album itself, the last one, symbolically represented more than just music. It marked the conclusion of Gunna's contractual obligations with YSL and a personal milestone in his career. Young Thug's dismissive comments on social media, therefore, carried added significance. By undermining the album publicly, Thug inadvertently drew further attention from legal authorities who were already monitoring his actions closely. This scenario demonstrated the delicate balance artists under probation must maintain, navigating public life, expressing personal grievances, and promoting their work, all while adhering to strict legal stipulations. Legal experts have noted that probation violations in cases like Young Thug's are often triggered not only by criminal acts, but also by behavior that could be interpreted as incitement, intimidation, or public disparagement of others within the legal system. By airing his personal disputes with Gunna online, Thug exposed himself to the possibility of new legal consequences, including revocation of probation and potential jail time. Each action, while perhaps intended as artistic expression or personal venting, had real-world implications that could not be ignored. Moreover, the feud shed light on the complicated dynamics within YSL and the broader Atlanta rap scene. Relationships between artists are rarely simple, influenced by personal history, business dealings, and the pressures of fame. Young Thug's actions highlighted how personal grievances can intersect with legal obligations, while Gunna's measured responses illustrated the importance of strategic restraint. This feud, therefore, became not just a story about two rappers, but also a case study in how public actions, social media, and legal oversight collide in the modern music industry. In conclusion, Young Thug's social media activity following Gunna's album release represents a complex web of personal, professional, and legal challenges. By going live on Instagram, tweeting, and releasing music that directly referenced Gunna, Thug triggered legal scrutiny and prompted Georgia authorities to consider revoking his probation. The conflict underscores the fine line artists must navigate between self-expression and compliance with legal obligations, particularly in high-profile cases where every action is scrutinized. Gunna's responses, tempered and calculated, contrast sharply with Thug's impulsive approach, emphasizing the different strategies artists use to protect both their careers and their legal standing. In the end, the feud around the last one is more than a personal dispute. It is a cautionary tale about fame, legal accountability, and the power of social media in shaping modern rap culture. The tension between Young Thug and Gunna escalated dramatically when Thug played a snippet of a song at a club, openly dissing Gunna. In the track, he claimed that the only reason he associated with Gunna was because of Troop, another figure in the Atlanta rap scene. Thug made it clear that he felt betrayed and misled, calling Gunna dishonest and questioning his loyalty. He went even further, labeling other individuals in the music scene as rats, a term implying they were cooperating with authorities or betraying their associates. This public display was not just a personal attack, it directly violated the strict terms of Thug's probation. As part of the agreement stemming from the YSL RICO trial, Young Thug was prohibited from releasing content that could be seen as calling out or threatening specific people in the public eye. By naming names and airing grievances so openly, he exposed himself to serious legal repercussions. Probation rules of this kind are designed to prevent further escalation of violence and to avoid stirring up rivalries, yet Thug's actions showed a disregard for those restrictions. The club performance and the song snippet fueled speculation about the depth of animosity between Thug and Gunna. Fans and insiders began analyzing every lyric and social media post, trying to decipher the real meaning behind the diss. Thug's frustration seemed rooted not just in personal betrayal, but also in the professional fallout within YSL. He suggested that loyalty in the Atlanta rap scene was conditional and that Gunna's actions had tested the limits of his patience. At the same time, this public airing of grievances drew attention from law enforcement and legal observers. Probation violations like this are taken seriously because they demonstrate potential risk for further illegal activity or threats. By openly discussing perceived betrayal and naming individuals in a song, Thug was creating a digital record that could be used against him in court. The snippet was more than just music, it became evidence of a breach of probation rules. Ultimately, this incident highlighted the delicate balance young Thug was forced to maintain between expressing himself as an artist and following strict legal boundaries. His anger, though genuine, clashed with the legal limitations placed on him, showing how complex and risky life can be for a high-profile artist navigating both fame and the justice system. The club snippet was a turning point, making it clear that the feud with Gunna was not just personal, but could have serious professional and legal consequences. Music analysts explain there are deeper layers here. Gunna reportedly expected Thug to forgive him once he was released early, thinking their friendship would continue. But Thug made it clear there was no going back. Gunna, realizing this, covered up his YSL tattoo with flames, symbolizing the end of that chapter. Fans flooded young Thug, urging him to forgive Gunna, warning that continued disses could land him back in jail. Thug, however, laughed off the messages in the studio, showing he was unbothered and ready for whatever came next. The most serious violation happened after young Thug released the song Money on Money, in which he dissed a female police officer, Marissa Viviero, the same officer Gunna had worked with for his plea deal. Young Thug posted about her on social media, calling her a liar and claiming, "All my homies hate Vivio." Since she is a government official and involved in testimony for the OMF case, this move alarmed authorities. Under probation, targeting a government official in public can trigger immediate legal consequences. This is why Georgia prosecutors moved to revoke his probation. His online actions were seen as a potential threat and a clear violation of the rules. Because of this, the news reported, the state of Georgia has filed a motion to revoke young Thug's probation and send him back to jail, citing his new lyrics, diss tracks, IG lives, and tweets as violations. In his song Money on Money, young Thug rapped, "These guys telling for nothing, and I got to be the one calling them friends," doubling down on this line during his first public interview since leaving jail. He explained, "I just like to help people, you know?" When asked about his relationship with Gunna, with whom he had many successful collaborations, Thug was vague. "I know everybody is wondering that. What's it like now?" "I don't know," he said. Soon after, the news highlighted that young Thug's legal troubles were far from over. Atlanta police continued to monitor him, and the day after the interview, he was pulled over while speeding, with body cam footage quickly going viral. In the clip, an officer warned him for going 100 miles per hour down the metro. Thug explained his license had just been restored, and the officer responded, "I ain't going to take your license." "I've seen too many bodies," showing both caution and frustration. Later that night, young Thug tweeted, "If you're a rapper and you rat, you just got a gospel," which quickly went viral. One user replied, "You are literally not even legally allowed to rap about gangster stuff anymore, bro. You go do gospel." The reply gathered 100,000 likes and 3 million views, drawing police attention because of its viral reach. Academics then analyzed the situation, explaining that the strict probation rules seemed designed for Thug to fail, leaving him vulnerable to being sent back to jail without much chance to defend himself. Many fans thought he beat the case, but that was not true. While Thug gained some freedom, his probation is extremely restrictive. For the next 15 years, he cannot be in Atlanta freely, communicate with co-defendants or gang members, or promote music tied to criminal activity. Even normal social outings or music promotion could be considered violations. While fans celebrated his release, experts warned that every move he makes is being closely monitored. The tension with Gunna has a deeper reason. A report from Black 100 revealed that Gunna had 2 hours of recorded footage in an interrogation room, sharing information on Young Thug. Many believe this could lead to another YSL-related case. Gunna reportedly confessed in detail to the authorities, which Charleston White later confirmed after reviewing the court files. He praised Gunna's decision, noting it helped him get out of prison. Fans debated this online, with some criticizing Gunna while others sided with White's perspective. Nalo Contendera, receiving 15 years probation. Analysts point out that anyone continuing to accuse Gunna of snitching is ignoring these facts. When Tekashi69 commented on Gunna, suggesting he snitched, it sparked more controversy, but the legal records clearly show Gunna's actions did not harm Thug's case. The public reaction was intense. One viral tweet summed it up. Once you learn the effects of Gunna snitching in that YSL trial, you will realize why Young Thug and Lil Baby will never be cool with him again. On the same day, the Georgia PD team that handled the YSL RICO trial, which had also arrested Young Thug, announced they were preparing to defend against a potential 4PF RICO case, signaling that tensions and legal stakes were far from over. Official court documents recently mentioned Lil Baby, raising eyebrows across the hip-hop world. During a hearing, investigator Viviero, the same officer Young Thug had previously dissed and who worked on Gunna's plea deal, testified while listening to wiretap calls. Someone in the call claimed that Lil Baby had tickets on people's heads, meaning he allegedly placed bounties to have certain individuals harmed, similar to what happened with Lil Durk's M for Hire situation. The court clarified that the term tickets refers to a price on someone's head, like a bounty. The call suggested that Dominique Jones, known as Dominic Jones, was the one believed to have issued these tickets. This news quickly drew attention from major figures in the music industry. Snoop Dogg tweeted, "First Young Thug, now Lil Baby being played by that Atlanta DA. Y'all Atlanta rappers be careful." Things escalated when Lil Baby was taken into county jail for questioning in connection to the deaths of Jackie Davis and Lamont Freeman. Police questioned why he had shut down his 4PF label after the incident. Authorities said a music video may have influenced the crime, which involved the deaths of 2-year-olds, and offered a $50,000 reward for additional information. So far, 7 people had been arrested. Witnesses described at least 25 shots fired during what was supposed to be a concert. In response, Lil Baby explained that he ended his label to prevent it from being viewed as a street operation while investigations were ongoing. He admitted he was unaware that he could be held accountable for others' actions. "I never would have went that route, but now that I know, I'd be a fool to just keep the same thing going." He emphasized that it was not just about the police. He wanted to take control and make sure things were done the right way. DJ Academics revealed more about Lil Baby's potential involvement in Atlanta-related crimes, suggesting he could eventually face a 4PF RICO case similar to Young Thug. Academics explained that when Fonnie Willis began targeting YSL, she initially focused on Doug, YFN, and eventually 4PF. Although some charges were dropped, federal authorities indicated that evidence would eventually emerge. This scrutiny explains why Lil Baby has been careful in his movements, operating under county and state watch rather than federal watch. The situation sparked viral reactions online. One tweet summed it up: the Atlanta DA was not successful getting Young Thug. Watch. Now she will get Lil Baby and use him as an example for other rappers supplying their teams with fame, money, and items for street crime. Fans continue to debate online. Did Young Thug truly break his probation, and how will Lil Baby navigate this legal pressure?